Welcome to another episode of the Collards.
And Curry. I wasn't ready.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of the Collards
and Curry
podcast. I'm Pierre Quinn.
And I'm Colleen Alexander.
And on the Collards and Curry podcast, we talk all things
fun, focus, and
faith. So we want to thank all of you for supporting the podcast. You've been watching a YouTube video. You've been listening to it on Buzzsprout or Apple Podcasts. I remember this time. You've been sharing it, and it's been really, really cool to go on this journey with you. So let's get into our conversation for today. How you want to start?
I guess we could talk about the fun stuff first, or you want to leave that for last?
No, we could. I mean, let's stay with the pattern.
Yeah, we usually start with fun.
Yeah.
So, what about fun? What are we talking about?
We could talk about funny things that we have seen on social media over the past few weeks.
Or months.
Or months, yeah.
Kind of been all life, right? Since we did this whole quarantine thing.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Yeah. And, you know, even though people are feeling more comfortable with traveling and people are getting vaccines, there's still a huge section of people who have more or less doubled down on the quarantine life. So,
yeah.
And we talked about screen addiction before and how this has been being a challenge. And along with that, there's some funny things that just come across the screen that you just can't shake it.
Who was it that saw the story? Was it you?
I don't remember.
Between us, I mean.
Yeah, I don't remember who saw it first.
I can't remember. But anyway, what were we talking about?
So the story about, I think it was a court case. Attorney Rod Ponton showed
Texas.
up for a virtual court hearing over Zoom on Tuesday. He quickly realized something was wrong. While in real life he is a human, to other participants on the video call, he looked like a cat.
That was hilarious. It was funny.
Yeah, reading a news story from CNN. Many of you have seen it on social media where this guy he's struggling because he's on Zoom and
in front of the judge.
I guess his daughter, or the story is like his daughter had put a cat filter on. And it's so hilarious. He's like,
I'm here. I'm not a cat.
And the judge is like, hey, can you fix that? Your filter is on.
Yeah.
And the attorney is like, well, I'm comfortable with proceeding.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I think after a while they were able to kind of change it, they said, but.
Yeah, and I mean, as the cat was blinking, look it up on YouTube.
When he was talking, of course, it was blinking, the filter and stuff, and you seen the little mouth moving, but yeah. And those
Zoom fails, they're always so funny when they happen to other people. And there's some pretty gross ones that have circled around as well. It's tough because we're used to going to work, and you know, when you go to work, when you get out of the car, you can kind of do those last minute, let me kind of check my face, let me fix myself before I walk into this space. But when you're at home, you're just like, whatever's whatever.
Yeah, Zoom has kind of been the thing. Zoom, FaceTiming, you know, that's what we've been doing to stay connected with friends and family.
Man, you know who's struggling right now?
Who?
Skype.
Oh, I haven't even heard about Skype.
Skype.
In a while.
Weren't they like first to market? I remember Skype.
That was the thing. Everybody was using Skype.
Now Skype, I guess Skype didn't pivot or whatever.
Yeah, but it's been good. You know, some good laughter. You see the videos. One of my other favorites was, of course, the Money Reside guy in the parking lot selling cars.
It's funny.
Yeah.
He was doing a promotion. He's a car salesman. He hops out the back of a van and he hits us with this iconic jingle, where the money reside.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious. I'm sure he's selling a lot of cars.
I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah. So it works.
Now, this one is, in the beginning, to me, it was funny, and then it wasn't funny, and then it was funny again. I don't know. I mean, you put glue in your hair?
I guess so.
So I had mixed emotions about it, because at first I thought it was like one of those, like, not a prank, but I thought it was fake. I thought there's no way this person actually put glue in their hair. But then it was like, no, they really do have glue in their hair.
Yeah. And then you've seen conversations about the things that we go through as women to kind of keep up with expectations of how we look, how our hair looks. So, yeah, it kind of went all over the place.
It went all over the place and back again.
Yeah, and then you saw that one dude with the red cup.
See, you know what? That to me, that wasn't even funny. That was just like, why would you? He had to go to the hospital.
But first, let's go back to the original. I still can't. Sorry, you're an adult, right? You're an adult. I couldn't understand why she would put glue. Okay, you ran out of gel or your hair glue. Well, why would you put glue that's for furniture? Oh.
Well, maybe, and I don't know the lady, but maybe she didn't think it was glue like that. Right? I know that sounds strange, right? But when you think about glue as a kid, did you ever do this as a kid? You put the Elmer's glue on your head.
School glue,
you put the school glue, and then you peel it off, and maybe she was thinking that the gorilla on the glue was just marketing speak, and it wasn't going to be like gorilla glue.
You said the word. She didn't think. Because, if you see something specifically for, say, furniture.
We're not reading all that.
Well, something wrong with you if you ain't reading all that.
We've stopped reading labels since we've had cell phones. Let me tell you why. Because in the bathroom, you sit in the bathroom handling your business. You try, you sometimes you get bored. You start reading labels. Yeah. I've read every label, every bottle in my bathroom growing up as a kid.
Really?
Nobody reads stuff now.
Well, that's crazy. Then you'll just be using whatever then.
You'll be using Gorilla Glue on your head. That's exactly what will be happening.
That's just crazy to me, but yeah, I guess.
What's funny, and I was talking to my sister about this before, is that people can laugh about situations without necessarily laughing about the person.
Yeah.
Or maybe people don't delineate like that, but some of the memes have just been flat out hilarious.
You know one of my favorites?
What?
Homer with the long ponytail. Homer with the long ponytail.
They should have never given some of y'all Photoshop in the internet because you just don't know when to quit.
They are so quick with it. Oh my goodness.
Quick in it.
Oh my.
And with the tech today, and you don't even have to be good at Photoshop anymore. You can create these graphics really, really quickly. Yeah, that one with the Homer and the ponytail was absolutely hilarious. If you don't know anything about what we're talking about, that's okay too. It's interesting how popular culture takes things that happen and that are funny and then creates a whole new thing from them.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can laugh at. Now, if it was me and I had glue on my head,
you wouldn't be laughing. Of course not.
Like the crying Jordan meme.
Oh, yeah.
The crying Michael Jordan meme.
Oh, the Uncle Denzel.
The Uncle Denzel meme. But when it's you, it's not that funny.
It's too much. Yeah.
And I'm grateful that I didn't grow up in the time where people made memes from foolish things that you did, because I'd have a ton of memes about
I think so life. Far, though, number one for the year, that's going to be, at least he's in the running to be number one, Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, and I mean, he marketed it to make, and that's something that, people don't feel like they're making fun of Bernie.
Yeah.
Because Bernie showed up with those mittens. Like,
I ain't about to feel cold.
But shout out to Bernie for taking it and turning it into a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Whatever your political affiliation is, there's neither here nor there when we're looking at the example of someone taking something that people thought of as funny and using it for a different cause. So what if we could all reframe?
Yeah, reframing, which kind of leads into a focus piece. Talking about using laughter, right, to kind of relieve stress, which is good.
Yeah, I try to laugh a few times a day. But
me too. I'm sorry to say, but I kind of go looking for something to laugh about.
You be laughing at me.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like, But yeah, I try to find something every day, a couple of times to laugh about.
So if you go on the Mayo Clinic website, mayoclinic.org, man, I shouldn't have said mayoclinic.org. I should have just said if you look on the internet.
Freebies, yeah.
If you just look on the internet, because Mayo Clinic is not sponsoring this podcast. Neither is Gorilla Glue or Zoom. So anyway, you look on mayoclinic.org and it talks about stress relief.
Yep.
As it relates to laughter. And it says the short-term benefits of laughing. It says a good laugh has great short-term effects. When you start to laugh, it doesn't just lighten your load mentally. It actually induces physical changes in your body. So laughter can stimulate your organs, activate and relieve your stress response, and soothe tension. Yeah, and that's amazing. I didn't think about that before. Like physical changes in your body that come from laughing.
Do you have like particular friends you could just like crack up
All right, so I had one of my boys from high school, and then we went to college together. His name is Dewan. Dewan was, you watch sitcoms and there's a laugh track.
Yeah.
Dewan was the laugh track. So when everybody is together, if Dewan laughed,
everybody laughing.
It's funny. Even if it was corny, he would laugh. So this is what would happen. You would tell a joke or do something silly, and people would automatically look at Dewan and see if he was funny. Especially if it was terrible. They'd just look at him, and if he would laugh, it was
I'm
like
sure
okay.
He ended up laughing just because people looking at him.
Yeah, but it backfired because it wasn't just Dewan laughing at a joke. He would laugh like if you stumbled. or if you made a mistake, you dropped your juice.
Yeah.
His distinct laughter, like it was just so hilarious.
Yeah, good laugh, man. It feels so good. That kind of belly laugh.
Yeah. That's why every once in a while I'll throw on one of my favorite comedians, and I'll just be on the floor, dying.
I have two friends in Kentucky, Farrah and Chloe. We always
all the time y'all laughing.
Yeah, we always roll
all the time.
But that's good, You have a group of friends who you could just be yourself, and it feels good.
So long-term effects from that same article, laughter isn't just a quick pick-me-up. It's also good for you over the long term. It may improve your immune system. It may relieve pain. Laughter may ease pain by causing the body to produce its own natural painkillers.
Yeah.
It increases personal satisfaction and improves
those mood. Endorphins. Yeah.
So I wonder what the studies are, because I'm sure there's studies.
Of course.
On people who, what's the dosage of laughter that equates to, taking a pain pill.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think there's so many of us out there, and it segues a little bit into the faith perspective, but there are so many of us out there, especially from a conservative religious context. I remember preaching one time, and it was a teenager maybe or early college, and this lady walked up to me and said, I think your sermon was okay, but you laughed too much, and it's got to be serious when you're talking about things of God. You got to be serious.
That's silly, because most times people kind of open up when there's laughter, especially when the material is really heavy.
Comedians are geniuses at this. They know I'm about to hit you with a very tough thought, and we're going to talk about race, or we're going to talk about gender, we're going to talk about sexuality, we're going to talk about your moral compass. And if I just come at you with that, you're going to bristle and
you're going to have that wall up. So.
But I give you that spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down. And really,
ease it in,
really comedy is really social commentary. And comedians get away with
a lot.
I remember watching, was it Bill Barr?
Oh, yeah. His SNL.
His SNL episode, monologue. Don't go listen to it, because it was maybe you want to. And his comedy is shock comedy.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people were laughing. I was on the floor rolling, listening to his monologue. But a lot of comedians do that. It's that social commentary. They have this laughter gives them a license to say things that maybe you wouldn't listen to had they just come right out and say it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you should laugh. Why do you think it is from a mental health standpoint? Why do you think it is that we put a lid on laughter, or why are people like so super? I'm super serious. I don't laugh.
One, I think we're not comfortable with ourselves. So it's like to show that side of us, we're like hesitant. It's kind of like you go to a Christmas party or something and, music and people dancing all silly. We don't like to show that side of us where we just, free and we enjoying a good time. I don't know. People feel like they have to shield their real self from the world.
I wonder, we talk about stress relief. I wonder if Jesus did that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he laughed, if Jesus hung out, if you could, pull up and eat wings with Jesus.
Yeah, you think of Jesus as this serious type of person,
and
all we talk about is God. I don't think he was that way.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is a control mechanism. When you kind of pull back the layers of religious ideology and teachings, it's a control mechanism to see God as this oppressive, domineering figure to kind of keep you in line. And if I'm closer to God, then I have more of an awareness of what it means to be in line. So I become the arbiter of whether or not you're out of. I think it's a control thing.
That's true. That is true.
So you need to laugh.
Definitely. A good laugh, man. Ugh.
You know when I think God laughs?
When?
When we think we got something figured out.
Yeah. Probably. Oh, I know. This is exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. We get lost in our own thoughts many times.
Yeah. We do. So I want to encourage you. Y'all got to laugh.
Find something to laugh
about.
At least once a day. Yeah.
I mean, medical, modern medical science.
So many benefits to it.
So don't take our word for it. Don't take our word for it. Laugh. Find something to laugh about, and you're really doing yourself a great benefit. You improve your immune system, relieve your pain, soothe your tension. You're nicer to be around.
Yeah.
When you laugh, and it has a huge impact on your mental health.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about the faith piece. And I know we talked about faith a little bit. There's an integration of all of these things, but
we got extra time for faith this time.
We got extra time. Yeah. Well, there's always time for faith.
Yeah, but I mean more than usual.
Okay, so you got a little book club. I didn't get invited to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your little book club. I didn't get invited to it.
We're reading our second book.
The second book. I didn't get invited to the first book. That's okay though. I'm gonna start my own book club.
It's really small. It was, just close friends.
I was doing a training this week, and it was funny because I really resonated with one of the participants was saying. She said, "I ain't coming, but I want to be invited." She said, "I want to be invited to everything.
Invitation.
I want to be invited. No, that I'm not showing up, but I want to be invited. I wasn't coming to the book club. I just wanted to be invited."
There are lots of things you do I don't get invitations for. So,
okay, yeah. All right, cool. So tell us about the book.
I guess I could. Should I show it?
I mean, some people just listening to it.
Yeah, it's Win the Day by Mark Batterson. It's pretty good. We just started, so we haven't read much of it yet. Read the first part. I can't remember what he calls them.
Well, listen, and we'll put a link in the show notes. It is our affiliate link, so go ahead and use that link to purchase your copy of Win the Day by Mark Batterson. Win the Day,
yeah, it's really good, at least so far.
So tell me, how I haven't read it because I'm not in the book club. So
okay, well, the first I can't remember. You looked at the book. What is habits? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The first habit he talks about is flipping the script.
Okay, so I did a little digging, just a little digging to figure out what was going on in this chapter of Win the Day. And it was talking about Numbers chapter 11.
Yeah.
And Numbers chapter 11 is a section of the Hebrew scriptures where the children of Israel were just upset. They were upset about being in the wilderness. And they were like, listen, all right, at least when we were in Egypt, at least when we were slaves, we had all the food that we wanted to eat. All the food we wanted to eat. Only thing we got to eat out here is manna, and I'm sick of it. So that's basically Numbers chapter 11, verses 1 through 7. Go ahead and...
The complaints.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. Like, the preacher in me wants to break down the whole scripture. But from the context of Win the Day, what is Mark referencing when he's talking about, like, flipping the script in Numbers 11?
Rewriting your story. Say you come from whatever background and not necessarily, say if it's a negative thing, not necessarily keeping that as your focus, but looking at it, reframing it, as we say in psychology, so that you're motivated to grow in life.
And it's tough because a lot of times we have romanticized the past.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me, our memory isn't as dependable as we think.
Yeah, it's really subjective. So you can't always trust it, especially as a kid. Yes, you perceive things a certain way, but many times they say, we tend to leave things out or put things in. So, yeah, you got to be careful with it.
And I think, as it pertains to flipping the script, it's when it's an opportunity to grow and stretch, and I see that opportunity. So for Numbers 11 with the children of Israel, God is moving them to a new space, a new place. But in order for them to get to that new space and embrace that journey, it was just what's tough is when there's stuff from the old section of life that you liked.
That's the thing, the comfort,
Even if that section of life wasn't a good section of life, I like that particular aspect. So for these people, they were like literal slaves. That's like a bad section of life, 430 odd years of slavery. But they're like, yo, it was the jump off because we had cucumbers and we had all the fish we wanted to eat and melons and onions and garlic. I mean, it wasn't that bad. We ate at the buffet. But when you look at it, like when you honestly look at it, it's like, how can you celebrate what you ate during that section
during
of life?
that time? But for many of us, it's like we love it became, that was our norm that we don't want to give up because the feeling of leaving that norm is so uncomfortable to us. We would rather stay in the mess.
Wow.
So we just stay there. Yeah.
There's so many times, if you haven't read Hebrew scriptures, first 5 books of the Bible, there's so many times where the children of Israel literally say,
take me back.
You should have left me here or take me back.
Yeah.
Like after all the miracles.
And we do that all the time. It's like we're faced with a new challenge in life. And we're like, God, why do I have to deal with this? Like, I wish it was like that back whenever.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends. This particular conversation was maybe over a year ago. And we talked about how we, in some ways, are afraid of, we like talking about the story of the grind of what it takes to be accomplished and successful, but we're afraid of experiencing the actual success and transformation because we don't know that story.
Yeah.
We know the story of I'm out here grinding, I'm out here working hard, I'm out here struggling, whatever your profession is. But when you get to a place where you're starting to accomplish things, you in some ways have to let go and tell the narrative from a different perspective. And I think because we love that, listen, if you're a hustler, grinder, hard worker, whatever it is, we will celebrate. If you say I work 3 jobs, we will celebrate that.
Yeah.
We will pat you on your back. We will tell the story about, man, they're such a hard worker. When you begin to make a transition to working a different way, or begin to see fruits of your labor that cause you to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't struggle exactly like this.
Yeah.
Some of the same community that celebrated your struggle story sometimes don't celebrate your accomplishment story.
Well, I guess in our culture, it's kind of put out there for us, show yourself as this type of struggling person.
Yeah.
We want that. I mean, for me, I think in our community, we celebrate that too much. It's like, why can't we celebrate people who've moved past it? Not forgetting. I think oftentimes we think that in moving forward, we forget.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. You're carrying that with you,
Yeah, we don't always have to tell the story the same way.
Yeah.
You can tell it from a different point of view. And I think that's what makes a belief in God or even Christianity in its different forms hard for some people.
Yeah.
Because people are saying, hey, if there's this story that Jesus has done so many things and he resurrected and has given us all of this ability and power and support, why are we living like we don't have access to that? Like we haven't been transformed. Like, why are we living like things aren't possible? Why do we keep going back to like the testimony, right?
Yeah.
I used to be like this, but now I'm like that. I feel like a lot of us get
we like
stuck.
Those negative, yeah, we like to sit in it and kind of,
and something happens to us, emotionally. I think we get some sort of comfort from telling the story like that.
It's kind of what you feed. That's what will continue to grow. And you're right. I think when we have that encounter, he meets us wherever we are, but he wants us to grow and to move from that place of whatever comfort we've been in.
I know there's some people who are listening to this right now and they're saying, yeah, it's easy for you. You don't get it. You don't understand. It's hard for me to think about
everyone
moving forward and flipping
has to
the script.
deal with this. Yeah. Everyone at some point in their life will encounter this issue.
And it's not just things that we consider to be bad things.
Nope.
It can be good things or great things, but the season for that particular thing has ended.
Are you ready to take the step forward?
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, we're scared.
Absolutely.
There's hope, right?
There's hope. And I think this is a good way to end. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Collards and Curry podcast.
I know, it was good.
Yeah. So
thanks again, guys, for all your support.
Yeah. Go laugh. Something.
Yeah, I sure am. I'm gonna go find something to laugh about.
All right. See you.